let's go into a little bit more detail about your siblings. What were they like, and what did they end up doing? I mean, certainly your mom and dad
Right.
emphasized education. Did everybody go on to get a higher education?
Well, they tried. My brother next to me went to Penn State as I did. I left after 3 years and to go to veterinary school, but he stayed behind. And he got to 3 years of education. I wasn't there. We were kind of close. I think he wasn't too happy at that time. He said, screw this. And so he went home and he never finished his undergraduate training. But then he ended up getting a job with IBM. And he was, in engineering was his thing. And he worked with them for 33 years.
Wow.
Had a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did. My sister, in those days, girls didn't go to college that much, but my dad was really keen on her going to school.
Really, that's interesting.
And was my mother's sister actually offered to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And she was admitted to the University of Miami, I remember, to go into interior decoration and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But she fell in love with the guy, and which was a big family fuss at the time, and she decided not to go to school. And she eventually got married. My youngest brother, though, when he was about 7th grade, he went to a little special school that was just starting in that nearby town. He was said to be really good. It was actually the heiress to the Firestone Corporation,
Okay.
who saw him, took him, brought him to this little school that she was organizing called Country Day School. He spent 1 year there, and then she secured for him a full scholarship to go to Phillips Academy at Andover.
Wow.
Or 2 others, St. George's, I think it was. So he had a choice of going to one of these really good schools.
Top tier prep schools.
Absolutely. In Andover, I think they had something like 9 presidents that attended that school or something.
Yeah.
So he went to Andover, spent 5 years there on a full scholarship. Then he turned around and got another 4 years of full scholarship to Harvard. Went on and got a PhD in physical chemistry from Northwestern. And then went to work and had a good job for much of his career until his late 40s, and he decided to go back to law school. Went off and got a law degree.
Wow.
And then from then until now, he just retired a year ago. He was a lawyer using both of his skills, the physical chemistry and the law, and ended up having a very good career.
Well, that's certainly a guy who is an achiever with a capital A, it seems.
Yeah, he did quite well.
So what was your relationship with him like?
Well, as I say, it comes back to that first question you asked. I was kind of the one looking after their work, if you will, which was a little bit onerous. I didn't get too excited about that, but that was just the way life was. So who questioned it, really? I remained very close to my brother, almost like a twin. He was close in age to me. The 2 younger ones I sort of did too. I mean, well, it was close. It was quite good.
Okay, so you were born in 1934.
Right.
And that was at the height of the Great Depression.
Right.
Were you aware at that time that there were a lot of people suffering in America, or were you sort of insulated from all that?
I think. Well, I mean, I was too young to appreciate
yeah, of course,
any
you're
of
too
that,
young to really have any knowledge.
Right. But as my dad or mother would tell me later, he never really suffered the consequences of the Depression, and farmers tended not to, because we produced our own food, and we could eat. That was not the issue. We had a garden, and so he did okay. The man who gave him the money to buy the farm in the beginning, so he had the farm free and clear when he first got it.
Wow.
So he was in pretty good shape with that farm he had. The only thing I remember was maybe I was quite young at the time, in the late 30s, there seemed to be quite a number of hobos, which were called. Men just come walking along and wanting to sleep in the barn or wanting to get a meal.
Yeah.
And so my mother was always inviting these people in to have a meal with us.
Yeah.
And
that was good of her.
Yeah, but that again was fairly commonplace. I guess looking back on it, I suspect there was a lot of unemployment. my guess.
Enormous.
And so some of them were just kind of out on the road.
Yeah, they weren't. They weren't doing that because they were lazy.
No, no.
They just couldn't find work.